Today on Open Throttle 360, we look at a rather odd accessory for a Chevy S10. We're going drag racing down in Greene County at the FLDs. You've heard of the Z28, you've heard of the SS, but have you ever heard of the Copo Camaro? OT360 host Tom Lang chats with local racing icon Don Gamble. We head to Shorty's Hollow for a little roll in the mud. That's coming up on Open Throttle 360.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Just get on board, strap in, you'll understand that I'm wild, wild and crazy.
Welcome to Open Throttle 360. I'm Trip Clark.
And I'm Tom Lang. Trip, sometimes it's nice to take a look back at some of our favorite stories and even some of the wackier ones.
Are you suggesting the next story's wacky?
No, I know lots of people put train horns on their vehicles.
Yeah. Well, sometimes a little toot just doesn't cut it when you want someone to get the hell out of the way.
Hi, I'm Doug with DJD Labs, and I love everything custom. It can be paint, stereos, wheels, air ride, you name it. So I started a company, DJD Labs, to do product testing of automotive equipment. The vehicle I have with me here today is a 2000 Chevy S10. And the one thing I really needed is I originally lowered the vehicle, and with Pittsburgh roads, potholes, hills, it just didn't work. So I looked into air ride. This particular vehicle has a one-of-a-kind air ride recycling system that reuses all of its air. I have two tanks in the back, one at full pressure and one close to 5 PSI right now. It reuses the compressed air. So when I lift the vehicle up, the air comes out of the left tank, fills the truck up. When I dump the truck down, instead of just venting out in the atmosphere, it recaptures in that right tank and acts like a supercharger of the system and makes everything more efficient. I wanted to add something special because you customize every part of the vehicle, the paint, the wheels, the stereo, the suspension. Why not customize the horn? Because having a vehicle with stock horns is like having a big bodybuilder with a chipmunk voice. You're gonna laugh at it. Stock horn, train horn. These particular horns are quite loud. The ones on my truck, the Shocker series, those can run up to 156 decibels. So it's so loud, and the shuttle launch I think is around 200 dB at a couple hundred feet. So these horns are very loud. The law in Pennsylvania states that it can't be unreasonably loud, but they don't actually dictate a decibel level.
And you do not consider that unreasonable?
I won't consider it unreasonably loud, for it gets the job done. It gets people's attention. Every time I push that button, it brings a smile to my face and warms my heart. When I was looking for horns, there's so many different ones on the market, so I figured, why not get a real train horn, like a Nathan K5LA. Problem with this horn is, can you imagine trying to fit something this size in a vehicle this size? It wasn't going to work. So I went back online and looked up some other horns. So that's when I went with these. These are the Shocker S4 kit from Horn Blasters. These allow me to mount them in my vehicle and fit them behind the grille, meaning that each horn is individually mountable. It's also indestructible ABS, so it made it very durable to have in the front of the vehicle. So originally I used to have the train horn hooked up as my actual horn in the steering wheel, which I thought was a great idea. It was easy to use until the first automotive inspection I had here in Pennsylvania. It was in the garage, I see the guy testing the turn signals, I see him to reach for the horn, I go running towards him, and before I could get there he set off the train horn in a closed garage. So after all of our ears finished ringing, I realized at that point I should probably move it to a separate button. Now with a custom vehicle, you also need a custom controller, and that little switch box just wasn't doing it for me. So I set out to take a Guitar Hero and interface it with my vehicle. So this strum bar is up and down, what direction I want it to go. These four buttons are front left, front right, rear left, and rear right, depending on which corner I want to control. So I want to lift the front up, I hold both front and lift up. So what's nice about this is, when I'm listening to some music, I can actually dance the truck around with the controller to listen to the music. What? You can feel it in your chest.
Coming up on OT360, a Camaro built specifically for racing. We talk with Don Gamble about his illustrious career and a trip to Shorty's Hollow for some mud bogging. That's next on Open Throttle 360.
Country music fans, Chris Higby's new CD depends on you. Be part of the Kickstarter campaign to help Chris record a new CD. Go to chrishigby.com to see how you can be a part of making music history.
It's the Delaney Subaru last month of summer sales event going on now through September 2nd. Stop in for these great deals. Lease a 2015 Subaru Legacy for $229 a month for 36 months. Or lease a 2015 Subaru Outback for $279 a month for 36 months. Visit online at DelaneySubaru.com for other great offers, like 2014 model year-end specials on remaining in-stock 2014s. Hurry, the Delaney Subaru last month of summer sales event ends September 2nd. Delaney, it's all right here.
With more than 3 decades of experience and 130 suppliers under one roof, Ludy's Chevy Warehouse is your one-stop restoration shop for sheet metal, brakes, emblems, chrome, and more. Need restoration parts for Chevy Impala, Bel Air, or Biscayne? We've got a catalog for that. We've got parts for Tri-5 and Chevy trucks, Chevelle, Monte Carlo, and El Camino, Chevy Nova, and Camaro. It's all at Ludy's Chevy Warehouse. Call today for a free catalog or visit us at a swap meet near you.
24/7, get the gear at PennStateClothes.com. Shirts, hoodies, gifts, jerseys, and sweats. PennStateClothes.com. You bet. The family clothesline with more in store. At Penn State Clothes, you get more. 24/7, get the gear at PennStateClothes.com. The family clothesline.
Country music fans, Chris Higby's new CD depends on you. Be part of the Kickstarter campaign to help Chris record a new CD. Go to chrishigby.com to see how you can be a part of making music history.
Ever wish you could order a ready-made race car right from the factory? Well, there was a day when you could. And guess what? You still can. Chevrolet calls their special race cars Copo Camaros, and it stands for Central Office Production Order. They're not street legal, but they'll blow the doors off of most rides that roll off the assembly line, and you're about to see one right now.
This is what's referred to as a Copo Camaro. Copo got its name back in the late 60s whenever Chevrolet had a process where you can order cars that were not available to the general public. Police cars, ambulances, special kind of cars. This is a factory-built race car. These cars are not delivered to any dealer. You have to pick them up in Wixom, Michigan or at the plant. And what makes them a race car is they are a race car. When you get in the car, it's ready to race. I picked this up at noon on a Wednesday in Wixom, Michigan, drove back here to Pittsburgh, stopped at Norwalk, Ohio, and raced the car that night in their test and tune session. This car comes from the factory with a full roll cage, a 4-link rear suspension with a strange 9-inch rear suspension. Under the hood of the car is a 427 naturally aspirated LS motor. This has been updated to 2014 with the addition of a new air box that 2012 did not have. This brings in fresh air in the grill, brings in cold air into the engine. That's the Hawley EFI manifold. The changes that I've made to it since I've had it is we put a 3-speed transmission, changed the rear gear ratio, and have changed the engine. The way these cars are, the top speed is geared for a 1/4 mile. You couldn't go much past a 1/4 mile because you would be out of RPM. That speed at 145 mile an hour is at about 8,200 RPM, and the engines aren't good for much longer. They're much more than that. We have no gas tank in this car. We have a fuel cell. This is where we put the fuel in. We have 2 batteries, which we put in. The car comes with 1 battery. I put 1 additional battery. These wheelie bars are new for this year. The car did not come with bars, but these cars do a high wheel stand and can go over backwards. We've had some cars that just about went over backwards. days of the carburetors are over. These cars are all fuel injected. That was kind of a sidelight of mine, doing carburetors for a lot of guys with race cars, particularly quadrajets. And it's kind of new to me that I have to go to a fuel injection car and not do a quadrajet anymore. Instead of tuning it with a screwdriver and whatever you would use to do it, now you got to use a laptop. Like you probably see me this morning having to reset the TPS on it. I had to do a TPS relearn with a laptop. The fuel injection cars are super consistent. There is so much adjustability in these cars, it's amazing. The way you would get one of these cars is you would have to put your name into a lotto, send it out, you go on to ChevroletPerformance.com and you fill out a survey. And you send your name in and you get put into a lottery that gets picked by a third-party company. And if you're one of the lucky ones, one of the lucky 69, then they'll give you a call and say, are you ready to spend the money to get this car? This car was $91,000. The blower cars were $95,000. Right now in the 2014s, they're going to be close to six figures.
Still to come, a little FaceTime with Don Gamble, and we take our GoPros for a ride in the mud. Don't go far, OT360 will be right back.
A family-owned and operated racing enterprise specializing in restoration work, chassis setup, transmission work, hard-to-find parts, and vintage car sales. Zappa Racing is the place to go for your road racing needs. Visit ZappaRacing.com and find out what the fighting bee is all about. Zappa Racing.
It's the Delaney Honda Summer Clearance Event now through September 2nd at Delaney Honda. Hurry in to lease a 2014 Honda Civic Sedan CVT-LX for $147 a month, or lease a 2014 Honda Accord Sedan CVT-LX for $188 a month, or rates as low as 0.9% on select vehicles. Delaney Honda is the area's best location for certified pre-owned Hondas. Visit online at DelaneyHonda.com for other great offers. Hurry, the Delaney Honda Summer Clearance Event ends September 2nd. Delaney, it's all right here.
Looking for a one-stop shop for all of your dirt, drag, and street machine needs? Look no further than Hoosier Tire Mid-Atlantic and Precise Racing Products. Precise is the leading distributor for Hoosier Racing tires and VP Racing fuel for Pennsylvania and Maryland. We also have a wide range of parts and accessories for circle track, drag racing, and street performance. Visit PreciseRacing.com and enter coupon code OT360 to receive a free hat on your next purchase. Precise Racing Products. We sell speed.
When it comes to luxury and performance, Cadillac still sets the standard. Arnold Palmer Motors in Latrobe offers the best of Cadillac luxury, including the all-new 2014 ATS, a world-class compact luxury sedan that redefines the Cadillac experience. The Cadillac CTS, Motor Trend's 2014 Car of the Year, is in a class by itself for design, safety, and engineering excellence. Visit Arnold Palmer Motors in Latrobe today and test drive the best that Cadillac has to offer.
In a few minutes, OT360 is going to give you a chance to see the excitement of mud bogging. But before that, we talk with a local legend of motorsports. He raced the local circle tracks for many years, and now he's the host of a regional racing talk show called Rappin' on Racing. He's a mentor of mine and a very good friend, Don Gamble. Probably one of the most connected and well-rounded people in motorsports in the tri-state area. Don, thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
I love the show. You guys are doing a great job.
Tell us a little bit about all your media ventures in the area racing.
Well, in 1969, I was teaching a summer graphics arts class, and I was racing at Latrobe Speedway, and someone said, "We don't have a program up here. Why don't you print something? You're into that printing stuff." So I took 2 sheets of paper, folded in half, 8 pages. It was a dime. And I gave the kid 50 of them. I said, "You sell them, I'll take a nickel, you take a nickel." He came back in 15 minutes. I said, "What happened?" He said, "They're gone." Well, that evolved into a 4-color magazine, Racing's Almost Perfect magazine. I was still racing. A fellow was doing a radio show on WEDO, and he said, "I can't come on a Saturday." This was in 1985. He said, "Will you fill in for me?" And he never came back. and I've been rapping on racing. This will be our 30th year, and your drag racing report is a big part of it.
Well, you're not just been involved in the media end of the sport. You were a driver, you've been a promoter, you've seen this sport from all different angles.
I love the sport. I started out as a fan, did some driving. I actually worked as a flagman, a pit steward, a tech inspector, I said announcer, a promoter. It's in my blood, and it's like a disease. You just can't get it out.
Have you ever worked in the concession stand?
From time to time, when they got in a jam, when I was promoting Motordrome, if we were shorthanded, I might have to put a couple of hot dogs out or do some French fries.
From back in the beginning till now, what's the biggest change that you've seen in motorsports?
The cost. I mean, when we won the championship at North Hills 1978, the car, trailer, and all the spare parts was $3,500. That's incomparable today. A late model, a sprint car, or a modified that rolls into the track on a race night, there's $500 before they get in there. Pit fee, fuel, tires, it's pretty expensive. Now in the support divisions, it's not quite so bad. But what you would consider a pure stock, they used to be $3,000, $4,000. Well, now they'll put $10,000, $12,000 in a motor. It's insane. The racers are their own worst enemy.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. Of every discipline of racing and every class and every discipline, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, being involved with the Circle Track Club. Old Timers Night, I mean, I'm no longer racing, and we still do the radio show, but whether it's the banquet or Nostalgia Night or Old Timers, I get to talk to my childhood heroes, and we're losing them because most of them are in their 80s. But I think I get the most satisfaction, other than winning a race, the most satisfaction I get would be being involved with the Circle Track Club and Nostalgia and Old Timers.
One thing that you think that local racing needs to do to survive?
Well, they can't raise the purses because the revenue's not there. I think you're going to see a lot of tracks going to specials only instead of running every week. I can see the top divisions like the super late models being a traveling circuit where they can't afford to have them all the time. The biggest cost is tires and motors. They need to go with a spec motor and a tire that lasts more than 1 or 2 race nights. When I promoted Motordrome in the modifieds, Jimmy Bickerstaff Jr. and Tommy Beck were the 2 hot dogs there, and Mark Flick, and they could get 8 weeks on a set of tires. And we had 30 cars in the division. Now they get a week and a half, and they have 8 cars. It's very simple. You got to cut the costs because you can't raise the purses.
Well, on behalf of racers and race fans everywhere, I want to thank you for everything you've done for motorsports, and I'd like to thank you for what you've done for me personally.
It's a great show. Keep up the good work.
still to come. Drivers and racers from all over the area submitted their GoPro footage. See if yours makes the show.
Heads Up Racing. Run what you brung. Street racing without the jail time. FlashlightDrags.com.
It's Delaney Chevrolet's last month of summer sales event going on now through September 2nd. Lease a 2014 Chevy Equinox for $223 a month or buy it now for $22,050. Or lease a 2014 Chevy Silverado for $369 a month or buy it now for $32,047. Visit online at DelaneyChevrolet.com to view our 2014 model year and specials on remaining in-stock 2014s. Hurry, the Delaney Chevrolet last month of summer sales event ends September 2nd. Chevrolet, find new roads. Delaney, it's all right here.
Best tires, parts, and service. Tire Town.
When it comes to luxury and performance, Buick takes a backseat to no one. Arnold Palmer Motors in Latrobe features the best of Buick, including the 2014 Buick Verano. Verano represents a new generation of mid-sized Buick luxury by blending performance-ready styling, comfort, and advanced IntelliLink technology. Visit Arnold Palmer Motors today and experience the 2014 Buick Verano for yourself.
Heads Up Racing. Run what you brung. Street racing without the jail time. FlashlightDrags.com.
Tom, I'm really grateful for GoPro cameras. It's really nice not having to send a camera out in the field worth several $1,000s to cover a mud bog event. You just strap some GoPros and let her rip.
And the quality of the video is amazing.
Yep.
If you have some GoPro footage of your own, either racing or just driving around on a sweet ride, you can upload your footage and OT360 will air it in our show.
Just go to OpenThrottle360.com and click on the GoPro camera at the bottom of the page and upload your file. It's that easy.
Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Any Tomisms for the road?
I had one, but I can't remember it right now.
Oh, thank God. We'll see you next time.
Next week on Open Throttle 360, we head to Pittsburgh Raceway Park for a little nitro jam. We talk with gearhead girl Lisa Norman. It was nostalgia night at Lernerville recently, and OT360 was there. We head to the Bedford County Fair to follow Michael Whittick as he competes in the Demolition Derby. And as always, we go pro. That's all coming up on the next OT360.